A very good afternoon to all of you. And I appreciate all the predecessors who spoke before me. Excellent renditions they had given to all the points that were covered. So I'm Lakshmi Vyas. I'm going to talk on what is the role of conflict resolution on faith-based organizations, that is FBOs and NGOs. In my knowledge, faith-based development organization, FBOs and NGOs, and their role in the conflict resolution and anti-corruption in both areas, as per the literature, the suggestions are that religious actors could play a decisive role which has not been realized. This is hesitation from both donors and communities about the role which religious actors could or should play as leaders. Most of the literature agglomerates faith-based actors and treats them as a group, including religious leaders, congregations, church institutions, charity organizations run by churches, international development, NGOs, and faith-based organizations which do not declare faith interest but are born of a community which holds inherent faith-based values. Religious actors can take up a number of roles in conflict resolution. They could be educators, advocates, intermediaries, mediators. They can help to change behaviors, provide peace-building education, health or relief services, disseminate ideas such as democracy and human rights, or encourage disarmament. Their legitimacy as civil society actors gives them a strong influential position. At the same time, distinction is made in the literature between peacemaking, which many religious institutions are prepared to do, and peace building, which is more complex process, and religious leaders may be underprepared or underskilled for the latter. Very often, what is taught in the prayer spaces and family plays a very important role in the children's mind and child development. If love, affection, and good values, diversity are taught, they become good citizens and play positive role in the development of mankind. While if they are taught hatred, fighting, killing, etc., they are bound to go in the wrong direction or in the negative direction. In Hinduism, since I belong to the Hindu traditions, Hinduism is a way of life, and right from childhood it has been taught at home and schools about ahimsa, respects, reverence, honesty, values, and helping others. I feel a world order of discipline needs to be introduced. The leaders also have sometimes very selfish motives. By initiating fights, they may gain. A very good example is the Ukraine war. FBOs, which have spiritual or religious leaders, can be prone to internal corruption too. Leaders who have an extra dimension of spiritual authority have greater opportunity to block or effect change within the organization. Staff members may not feel able enough to question their decisions, as they may be seen to be voicing the word of God, and to challenge this is to challenge God, so they keep quiet. In some countries where hierarchical structures are common, this can result in high concentration of power in one person. These leaders may also be resistant to internal accountability measures. Two more challenges are hiring the staff. Hiring staff based on faith rather than merit may undermine the effectiveness of the organization. At the same time, remuneration tends to be lower than in other NGOs, which may also undermine professionalism. Now I come to the actual situation where a lot of things have happened in the past couple of years. Clash of civilizations have not strengthened nations. On the other hand, it has only created chaos, fear, and endangered the relationships. Nearly 84 million people are currently displaced by persecution or conflict, including 26 million people who have crossed an international border and become refugees. A far greater number have migrated for more complex regions. The UN estimates that around 272 million people are international migrants, meaning they are stateless. The current war in Ukraine, Russia has turned out to be another clash of civilization. This war has created some more refugees. More than 11 million people are believed to have fled their homes in Ukraine since the conflict began, according to United Nations. What makes people take such extreme risks? We have to understand that no one would put their children in a boat unless the sea is safer than the land. In the same way, no one will leave their home unless the home is the mouth of a shark. So many times, due to the border rules, migrants are pushed to seek out even more dangerous routes to evade controls. Others turn to increasingly expensive smugglers or become vulnerable to traffickers who exploit and extort them. Death tolls have soared in recent years. Do you remember the story of drowning of 8,000 migrants in the Mediterranean Sea? Many more deaths in the world's treacherous borderlands like Sahara Desert, the Sonoran Desert in Mexico border, and the Darien Gap, they just go uncounted. The UN estimates the journey across the Sahara could be twice as deadly as the Mediterranean. So, this is a situation in Europe. Basically, when I go to those places, I see it, I experience it. Unless the whites accept the blacks, the browns, and the yellows, this world will continue the way it is. FBOs and NGOs have to look beyond the horizon and rediscover how this place can be more beautiful and happier. And I must mention here that in the past few years, child trafficking has increased a lot, and also women molestation is so rampant, which needs immediate attention. With this, I complete my talk, and thank you very much, and thank you very much to give me a listening. Thank you. Thank you.